My name is Ben Zipperer. I'm an economist at the Economic Policy Institute in Washington, D.C. Probably the simplest way to think about my research is that I study the labor market, which is people's jobs, employment, wages, their working conditions, and how that's affected by different policies, whether we're talking about workplace safety regulations or policies related to technology. Some of the research projects that I'm working on right now include trying to quantify or measure how much identity theft waves will cost ordinary Americans. So currently in the federal government, we have a bunch of private citizens, Elon Musk and the Doge crew, who all of a sudden have access to information on every taxpayer, every worker in this country. And that confidential data, were it to be released or were it to leak out or be stolen, would have a lot of identity theft consequences for ordinary Americans. My research often speaks to what are some policy solutions for some problems that we have with technological developments. So often people are, for very good reasons, afraid or concerned or skeptical about how technological change or the introduction of computers or AI can affect workplaces and maybe make working conditions worse. But my research often points to that the problems with that situation aren't so much the actual technology, but the fact that the technological developments are exposing other weaknesses that we have in the labor market, like, for example, inadequate workplace and safety protections, or not enough staff who have the expertise in the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission to pursue gender and race-based discrimination claims. I think the fact that most ordinary Americans or most people who aren't extremely wealthy have to work for a living. And that is a core part of what we do every day. And it also becomes sometimes a core part of our identity. Because it is so important, we want to make sure that, or I want to make sure that people have the right support system and the right safety net to make their jobs as pleasant as possible, and also to avoid any kind of harms that they may feel at the workplace or in the labor market writ large. One salient influence that I had was when I started college. I received a scholarship in the state of Georgia. In the state of Georgia, students that have high enough grades can get a discount or free tuition at public universities in Georgia. And that scholarship is funded through the lottery system in Georgia. When I was an undergraduate and had that scholarship, I also had a job. My boss was great and allowed me to go buy coffee for everybody or lunch for everybody at the local Kroger grocery store. And I would go there and I would stand in line and buy coffee. And while I was doing that, I noticed this huge line at the customer service desk of all these people, very poor, who weren't white like me, but they were all buying lottery tickets. And I realized that they were funding my education. And I wasn't paying anything for my education. And that kind of moment made me realize the power of economic policy, that we have a policy in the state, the lottery. It is funded mainly by poor people, and the people that benefit from this policy are people who are not poor like me. And that made me realize that how we shape economic policy can have very important consequences for those that pay for the policies and those that benefit from the policies. One question that I have is that is technology taking away some of the most gratifying or least onerous tasks of work and only leaving the most difficult tasks? And that wouldn't be so much a problem in and of itself as long as we had a countervailing voice at the workplace either workers with more bargaining power in general because they're in a union, or because the labor market is very tight and they're able to get another job or use other job opportunities as leverage to improve the conditions at their workplace.